was all a dream.
So, what would you little maniacs like to do first?
Let's start dreaming.
It alters your life and you never think the same again.
Some dumb thing on the edges of nowhere.
A collection of question marks stuck together into a pit of darkness. No logic, no reason, no explanation.
We can change it anytime we want. It's only a choice between fear and love.
That's just deep, bro. That's deep.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Let's Start Dreaming podcast. My name is Mikey Gianelli.
And I am Carson McGregor.
And we are back for episode 10. That is 10, baby. Double digits again.
Mm-hmm.
We have made it 5 weeks now. Enjoy doing this just as much as I did the first week, if not even more. So, yeah, glad to be here. How are you doing, Carson?
I am doing pretty okay. We were kind of talking before we got the podcast rolling that I've been, really invested in the football season recently. So that's been taking up a lot of my headspace is just the NFL. So that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, sports ball, baby. Sports ball with the field goals and the hockey pucks and the touchdowns and the home runs, right?
You can diminish it all you want. It's a fucking cultural phenomenon.
You ever play football?
No.
How come?
I never had the build for it. I never had the build athletically for much. I played baseball. I was a catcher. I played... Yeah.
That's the only thing you're a catcher with.
Yeah, no, I thought you'd find that funny. Well, I mean, in our friendship, you're the catcher for sure. But in baseball, I did catch. And in basketball, I was never very good. I played rec for the most part. I never really played on a school team.
You played basketball?
Yeah, just because it was like something to do. Not really because I was ever any good at it. It was just, kind of one of those things that I wanted to play a sport, and basketball is something to play. And I was always a little bit more interested in baseball. Football was never an option.
That's sad you limited yourself, kind of. I mean,
I can't play football. I just don't have the build.
I played baseball my whole life, and then I tried out for high school, and then I got hit with a baseball. And obviously I got hit with a baseball plenty of times, but then, everyone was just so big. And I was like, fuck this shit. I'm so tiny. I was like 5'1", 5'2", left the field. Then I started wrestling, which also fucking sucked. But it was great.
See, I quit baseball because when I was playing for the younger teams, people were throwing pitches at 50, 60 miles an hour, maybe. And then when somebody first threw a 75 mile an hour pitch at my head, I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Is this glove the amount of thickness a glove is supposed, this is as far as it goes? I just got to catch it and just ignore the fact that my hand stings this much? Fuck this.
I was thinking you were the batter for some reason, but no, yeah. That shit does hurt. If you hit it right in the palm. Yeah. Were you ever the kid that always cried? Or was there someone like that on your team? The crier? Like
at a loss?
Either at a loss, they got struck out, or they're pitching. They're the pitcher, and their inning is not the best, and they just start getting super mad and start crying.
I do remember we did have that one kid, Austin, and we basically put him at every position because he was a little quick kid. He definitely had speed and a certain level of baseball athleticism, but he just sucked at baseball. He was not good at anything we put him at. He was a terrible shortstop. He was a terrible pitcher. And even in the outfield, the dude just could not catch a ball if it was coming at him if somebody lobbed it at him from 13 feet away. He just could not. He didn't have the mechanics down.
I feel the same, honestly, though. I don't think I sucked, but, I always thought I was not as good as everyone else. I would put myself towards the bottom of the team. I don't know why. Maybe I did suck.
It's totally a fine thing to accept that you're not good. When I was all right. When I was fucking trying out for that fall ball team, that the kid first threw a real fast pitch at me, there was 2 other catchers trying out. I didn't know any of this going in. I just thought I was on the fall ball team. I didn't know how any of it worked. That you had to try out for it. So I just went to this practice they told me to show up to. I was like, all right, I'm going to be the catcher or one of the catchers. And no, it's like there's going to be 1 or 2 catchers and there's like 3 or 4 guys here. So 2 of you are going home. And they're running drills. Like I played for a real like shitty baseball team that we didn't take it all that seriously. So they were like running drills. And I've never seen these drills before. So they're running these and the coach like throws a ball like on the ground a couple feet in front of me, and I just don't move, and he's like, catch, like, wake up, and I'm like, what? And he's like, you're supposed to get, like, it's a bunting drill, so you're like, this guy's gonna run, and then you're supposed to like throw him out from the squatting position. I'm like, could you explain yourself before we start doing these things?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I remember I was like fucking 6 or 7 or 8. It was one of my first years. Actually, no, it was not one of my first years playing baseball. I might have. It was one of my first years, but I think I was at shortstop, and the coach was like, "All right, shortstop, or shortstop, get over there." And I'm like, "Why are you calling me shortstop?" Like, I was so fucking confused.
Why?
Because he said shortstop, but I thought he said short stuff, and I was really short, and so I'm like, "Why are you calling me short stuff? Like, what's wrong with you?" He was a big, tall guy, but and honestly, those criers in sports, I think they are the most determined though. Like, I kind of didn't give a fuck. I didn't put effort in because at the end of the day, I knew it was just a game, and like, oh well, I'm doing this because my dad signed me up. I kind of like it, and I kind of want to do it, but also I want to do it for my dad.
Yeah.
So I didn't always put 110%, and that's something I wish I did. Like, looking back, like, or I could have done rather, like in wrestling, like if I just stopped being nervous and just fucking put balls to the wall, I would have been a legend. I literally would have been a legend. Legendary status.
See, it's tough to realize that in that moment, especially if it wasn't your idea to be on the team in the first place. You know, I get this from my dad for sure, but I'm fiercely competitive. I'm wildly competitive at basically anything I do. And when I was a kid, it was way worse, where if I was bad at it and I just was like the worst at it, I would be like, this is stupid. This is a stupid thing, and you guys are stupid for enjoying this. The fact that you guys like this game means that your IQ is just like crazy low, and I don't even want to be associated with you dumbass Neanderthals.
Oh my
but
God.
But if I was good at it, I'm like, this is the greatest game of all time. I was the worst, and eventually I've started to get over that.
Yeah, I don't know how much I've seen that side in you. I think you've told me that once or twice before, maybe. But I've never really seen you be competitive like that. You're kind of like a more chilled out, relaxed guy. Those sports were like something I never really wanted to do. They were just something that I was supposed to do, you know? But moving forward in life, you know, you got to do things you want to do. That's why we're doing this. No one told us we had to.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, but I also think, you know, you mentioned that like those criers, the kids that cried, they were the most determined. Like I wasn't the crier, but I was definitely like the fucking sore loser, like sore loser, sore winner type. And and I wasn't, and having a crazy emotional reaction does not mean that I was the most determined. I was not. No, I was not getting up at 6 a.m. and going out to, you know, the practice field. I wasn't doing any of that shit. I just wanted to be good at it. I wanted to be better I wanted to be a prodigy. And if I wasn't a prodigy, then it's not even worth me trying.
Damn. It's a lot to put on yourself. Huh.
No, it's laziness. It's not anything. It's not any like expectation. It's just laziness. It's like, if I'm not great at this, then fuck it. It's not for me.
Oh yeah. But also having a push in some direction is kind of nice. As a kid.
Oh yeah. As long as you don't get to that, like, you know, Pistol Pete level, that Michael Jackson level where your parents are just pushing you and then hitting you with fucking, you know, those fire pokers, those things that they poke fires with, you know, hitting you with one of those metal rods until you dance good. Like, and if you're not in that level, then it's probably good to have some push from your parents.
Yo, that's so wild that some parents do that. Like, they literally try to have their dreams into their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's whack. It's whack, dude. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was about to say, I was switching subjects. What's crazy to me? Have you seen like the PS5s
No,
and how much they are?
no.
I'm sure like retail they're like 300, 400, $500. People are like buying them out and reselling them for $2,000. $2,000. Like
Wow.
what? Like what? See, that's something that baffles me. I mean, I get it, but also at this point, I don't give a fuck about it. Literally, every couple years, there's this new system that comes out. And it's the same as the old one, except some improvements. And I mean, yeah, that's the progression of technology. But like, even with the games, like let's take Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, whatever. Literally the same game reskinned over and over and over and over and over and over again with minor quality of life updates. Like, what is with that? What is this?
People are easy to trick with the newfangled thing, whatever it is. It's technology is just another example of it. I mean, the fact that people buy new iPhones, like that, dude. I'm on like an iPhone. I don't even know, like a 6, and
Really?
yeah, because like it's as good as the next ones. It literally does the same shit. Like it doesn't have as good of a camera. That's the only thing.
And the processing is probably not as good, but like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but like, what do I need? Like, I'm not like editing videos or doing graphic design on my iPhone. I'm making phone calls. I'm texting. I'm using some social media apps, and that's it.
And music.
And
Probably.
music, yeah. And
Maybe
it does
you should get a
all
flip
those
phone.
things perfectly fine.
Maybe you should get a flip phone. But yeah, no, I guess it's kind of like a trend in America, from what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's the consumerism culture. It's the nature of this country. It's the nature of capitalism in general. Is that it's always pushing the next new thing to get you to buy it. Companies that make things like technology specifically, Apple would never turn a profit if they made one model of the iPhone. And
The phone. Oh my god, the phone thing is one of the craziest things. Like. And they're made. They not only are they making new ones every year, they're made to deteriorate. They're not made to last. Like, they can last, but like,
if you don't get the software update, just don't do the software update, and they last forever. That's what I've learned.
really, I think I've heard something like that.
Like
That's fucked
that's
up.
how they bug your phone. Is they keep giving you software updates that your phone can't handle some sort of part of the software, so that it malfunctions and you have to get a new one. But if you don't do the software update, you're fucking fine.
What kind of con artist shit is that?
I mean, it's to make money. They're a company. They're trying to make money. I get it. I don't agree with the methods, but I get it.
I mean, yeah. But that's what's fucked up, is that like everything is for a profit. And I do get that too, but like, that's ugly. Like, even at my workplace, like, we're a small business, and so I would think like maybe we would try to help the little guy out, like local contractors, local people, like local DIY home improvement guys. But no, like, it's still just about the money. And yet we are a small business too. We're not even helping out other small businesses. I mean, I guess sometimes we are, but it's really about the money at the end of the day. And I
mean, you can't, like, you as a small business, you really can't, because you can't afford it. Like, if you're buying supplies, you could buy them from the other small business guy who's going to charge you X amount of dollars, or you could buy it from Walmart who's going to charge you half that, and it's no contest. You have to buy it from Walmart. If you're going to buy it from the small business guy because you want to support small businesses, that's great, but you really have to be making crazy margins in order for that to be realistic.
Yo, the profit margins on glass are fucking stupid. Like, let's say 1/8-inch glass, we buy it for 80 cents a square foot. We sell it for $6.70 a square foot.
Jesus.
Like, what? What? And I know that's not only exclusive for my business, because that's how this shit works. I see people getting mad, like, oh, why are you, like, I see on TikTok, like, people, like, reselling items, like, buying items from Facebook Market or something like that, and then cleaning them up a little bit and reselling it for, like, $100, $200. And like, oh, that's fucked up, taking advantage of rich people. Like, no, you're just making that money. That's using your brain and using your resources to make a fucking profit. People say it's gentrification. I mean, I guess. I don't agree. I think it's just being smart.
How is it gentrification?
I don't know. That's what they say.
Who?
The TikTok people.
You
The
see
commenters on TikTok.
You see that 60-minute story about TikTok?
No.
Yeah, I sat down and watched it with my parents, and it's fucking scary, dude. It's fucking scary. Because the whole controversy with Trump like wanting to ban TikTok, shut down TikTok. I was looking at that from an outside perspective as somebody that doesn't have TikTok and doesn't particularly like Trump at all. So I'm thinking like, okay, is this like why would he do this? Why would he? His reasoning was China, and I'm like, okay, well that seems vague. It seems like there's no actual weight behind that claim. And then I'm watching the 60 Minutes thing, and I'm like, holy shit, like he had a real good point. Like he had a real honest to God good point on why he would want to ban TikTok.
Well, I think I heard something about it, like trying to protect just information of higher ups and elites, kind of maybe.
No,
Locations?
it's the fact is that if a company is operated out of China's a communist government. It's not a communist government. Oh, it is a communist government. It's a little bit complicated. It's called neo-mercantilism. It's a mixture of communism and capitalism. Capitalism in the marketplace, communism in the government style. And
Damn,
and so,
that's like the best for fucking controlling people, it sounds like.
yeah, because it means you
Oppressing people.
you get to make money as a country, make a ton of money as a country, and still have complete control over your population. And China's been doing like facial recognition, like cameras everywhere, constant surveillance, very 1984 type shit for a long time now, and they can't really get into the American data like that. There's no way for them to do that until TikTok comes around. It's a Chinese-based company that owns TikTok, and as a Chinese-based company, you are required by law to give all of your information that you have, all your data, all your information to the Chinese government. It's a requirement. You have to. So the company,
Even if you're American?
well, if you're an American company that wants to set up shop in China, that Chinese branch of your company has to give all their information to the Chinese government. So if you're Facebook, an American-based company that wants to set up in China, you have to give them all the information you have in China, that where you're distributing Facebook in China, all of the information on the users there. And TikTok, on the other hand, is a company that has its roots in China. So it comes over here, the technology comes over here, Americans are putting all their information on it, and that data can go directly to China. Now, I've never bought the fact that China is this big boogeyman that we should all be super duper afraid of. I've never really bought into that. But the fact that they can have the personal information, facial recognition of every single American citizen who's on TikTok, they're going to use that for something nefarious, for sure.
Nefarious meaning?
Bad.
What does that mean? Yeah, that does kind of sound like a recipe for disaster. Could they sell it to America, maybe?
I mean, no, because
They just use it for their own.
They just
evils.
use it for their own purposes. They just have your information. They have your whatever information you put into TikTok. Your name, obviously. Your like who you are exactly, where you live. They know where you live. They know anything that you post. They know that about you. There's a lot of information that you're putting unknowingly into these social media sites, and they would just get all that information. Now, I don't know what the ramifications are of that. I have no idea, but I don't know. I just don't think we should be using it. Like I really don't think American kids understand the potential for disaster
But it's fun.
No, it's so fun. It's this app I get to use with my friends.
I don't really understand the dangers of it at this point. I mean, like, I understand that we're giving them information and data. Was China and the USSR or Russia, like, were they homies?
I can't really speak to that much. They have very similar styles of government.
Because, you know, the Cold War and all that shit was not too long ago. Like, Russia was our biggest enemy, what, like 40, 50 years ago? Probably still is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's... Enemy is a strong term.
I just think sometimes we overlook the peacefulness in this world, or at least I overlook the peacefulness in this world right now. I mean, I know there's fucked up shit going on in a lot of places, but, like, America's peace with, like, Russia or China or Japan or shit like that, you know?
Peace is another strong word, because Japan is our ally. Japan's in our back pocket. Like,
we got Nintendo.
We're very close with Japan ever since World War II. But China and Russia, on the other hand, very different cases, because China and Russia are both trying to hack our data constantly. Like, constantly. The amount of Chinese hackers that have been caught successfully mining data from, you know, major insurance companies, major hotel chains, major banking companies is crazy. Happens all the time. Same thing with Russian hackers. And Russian hacking technology is leagues ahead of American. So they are winning the cyber Cold War, essentially. Russia is not our friend. China is not our friend. They are our financial allies to a certain degree, because we sell to them and buy from them, but we're not homies in any sense.
I'm having trouble understanding what all this data would do for people. Like, I understand in our country, data is sold, and data is used to just fucking butt fuck you with advertisements. It's so ugly. It's so ugly. That's where all the money is, too. I mean, yeah, ad revenue is a thing, but, like, selling data is the money, is it not?
Depends. I mean, you can make money strictly off of ad revenue, absolutely.
Which is a lot as well.
But if you are Facebook, it's like, oh, we can triple our profits if we sell our users' data. Who's not going to do that? I mean, I suppose somebody that wants to have a clean conscience, but
that's just crazy. Like, they're growing their own revenue. It's like planting a seed. It's like having a farm. Mark Zuckerberg is playing Farmville with us, people of America. It's fucked up.
Yeah, he's using the population as a revenue source, like using the personal information of the population as a revenue source, which is super, super fucked up. The problem with, like, that's been happening on basically every social media app since American social media apps have existed. But the problem with TikTok is you're giving that same level of invasive information to an authoritarian government. And that is a frightening concept. Because China's style of government is, to me, the most frightening.
Yeah, I think don't they be killing people left, right, and center? They just do a lot of fucked up shit.
I mean, they have complete control over their people. They have complete control. I've been writing this paper about internet censorship, and China, outside of North Korea, which the internet is illegal in North Korea, but outside of that, Myanmar and China are the two highest ranking, like the censorship leaders of the world in cyberspace.
I've asked you so many times, I always forget the answer. Have you watched Black Mirror a couple episodes?
Some of them.
In that one episode in season 3, episode 1, it's called, I forget, but they all have their phones, and they're all super obsessed with their social media ranking, and their social media ranking determines where they are in life, like what social status they are. And I remember reading how that was being implemented in China, like right now, how different people with social scores get certain benefits, like higher social scores get certain benefits, certain passes, certain public transportation benefits.
Yeah.
And then if you have a lower score, you're not eligible for these benefits. And I'm like, what is going on here? This social media is being integrated with reality more than it is just a place to connect, but literally a place to judge you and like to rank you. Like, what the fuck?
It's that social media was an experiment that got really popular, and the powers that be, whether that be the American government or the Chinese government or any world government, has used it to control information. Information is king. If you have information, if you know everybody's personal information in the world as a government, then you control the world economy. So that's what America is so scared of with the China thing, with TikTok, is that if you know everybody's personal information on a nuclear level, then you can basically fucking play God with the world economy. And
I didn't get that part.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, well, they have our information. Like, what? Are they going to fucking say, oh, Mikey, you watch porn and you're going to hell? Like, I'm like, what does that mean? They have our information. What, why should I care? But no, that makes a lot of sense. That now that you say they can be the world superhero of the economy, or Superman, whatever the fuck you said. I heard it.
That's fun. And see, that's the thing, is it is a fun social media app, and but they know that. They're very aware of how addictive the technology is, how addictive the algorithm is, how goddamn good the algorithm is. And everybody talks about with TikTok specifically that you can be on the app for a certain amount of time, and they start to basically know exactly what you're looking for.
Oh yeah.
Like, they know, like, you go through your feed and you're like, this is all the shit I wanted to see.
You know how many fucking TikToks I see of people pulling Jeeps? Why am I on Jeep Talk? Because it's all I smoked. Like, it's cool how catered it is. Like, I got, psychedelic people coming up on my page, a bunch of gay shit, literally homosexual and LGBTQ plus shit. Let's see.
But that's the danger of it, is they know they shouldn't know you that well.
But they do.
A foreign company, a foreign government shouldn't know you that well. A company shouldn't know you that well. The fact that targeted ads have gotten this good should scare the fuck out of everybody, and nobody cares.
Crazy.
Nobody cares.
Because I guess the surface pleasure you get from it is a lot more noticeable and impactful than the subsurface effects, like the advertisement and the this and the that.
Well, we don't care because we don't see the long-term harm in it. It's the long discussed debate of, would you rather have liberty or safety? Would you trade essential liberties for the promise of safety? And no. The answer is always an emphatic no. That you never give up your essential liberties, your right to freedom of speech, your right to freedom of expression, for the promise of safety. That's bullshit. But that's kind of the world we're living in right now, is that people are super okay with giving up their freedom for the promise of safety. One thing that has really been a disaster over the last couple of years in this country is the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act was enacted a couple months after September 11th, and it basically said, like, we can go and do outside of court regulations, investigative work onto people's computers, like basically dig into people's emails, people's private connections, whenever we want to, if we have the slightest suspicion of terrorist activity. That was the concept. And it's been around for many, many years, and it's caught 2 terrorists.
Really?
Yeah, who would have been caught without that technology. They would have been caught otherwise. So it's been used more to, it's caught criminals, it's caught drug dealers, it's caught people that are embezzling, people that are committing fraud. But most of the people they investigate, by a vast margin, most of the people they investigate they find nothing. So they're just looking into people's shit to see if anything's there.
Who's allowed to look?
The CIA.
Oh my god. I don't even really have any comments for that. I don't know how to feel about that. Obviously, it's not.
The moral of the
Go ahead.
story is everybody delete fucking TikTok because it's not. I mean, just use something else. There's other shit. Just use something else.
But you can't get famous like that fast on any other platform.
Who cares? Who cares?
I want to say, I think a lot of times Americans take America for granted. It's a great country. We got a lot of freedoms that people don't have. Like in fucking Canada, in Britain, there's no freedom of speech. You will get fucking fined. You will get in jail. You will get thrown in jail for fucking saying a joke.
What are you talking about?
Yes, there's a language police in Canada.
Like, what do you like specifically? What are you referring to?
This one comedian said a joke, and he got like a $3,000 fine because it was offensive. This one chick in Britain posted Snoop Dogg lyrics online and got a fine because I guess she wasn't allowed to say it. Freedom of speech is a beautiful thing.
I'll have to do more research on that because
It's crazy. No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Because Canada, I know there's a law against hate speech. There's a law against
But you can't even define hate speech.
Yeah, no, that's what's so fucking murky about that is that, you know, everybody in theory wants to get rid of hate speech and get rid of you know, racist things that people say, but like, who can be the judge of that?
Yes, hateful speech is terrible. Nobody wants to hear hateful speech, and nobody should really say hateful speech, right? But you have a right to freedom of speech, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even though hateful speech. But as I look at the clock, I'm going to use my right of freedom of speech and say that this episode is now over. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Start Dreaming, episode 10. My name is Mikey. I hope could you please like the video. For my one birthday wish, like the video, comment, subscribe, notification bell. Check out our single 3-day weekend on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, Amazon Music, all of the above. Every friggin' music streaming service, we're out there. Carson, you got something to add?
Check out my podcast that comes out on this channel every Tuesday. It's called The Shock Therapy Podcast. I talk about whatever goofy shit's on my mind during the week. The last one I released right the day before this video is a really good one. I really enjoyed the topics that I talked about, so check that out if you enjoyed this. And
check it out.
And yeah, and follow us on social media at Wade in Low Key on Instagram. And we will be making new content soon.
See ya, everybody.
Been feeling disconnected now. I get money, know I'm reckless now. I get high, coming off the ground. This life is a prison, someone let me out. Been feeling disconnected now. I get money, know I'm reckless now. I get high, coming off the ground. This life is a prison, someone let me